This projector is the perfect portable TV alternative. It is the absolute perfect cinema setup, and I've tested it on the wall, the ceiling, outdoors, and even while lying flat on my back. And what surprised me most, it actually made me ditch my regular TV. The Wanbo Vali one turns any room into a full-blown home theater. It's ultra portable, comes with built-in Android TV, has fast autofocus, and a 200-degree rotatable stand so you can even watch movies on your ceiling. And the best part, it only costs $200. In this video, I'll show you exactly why I replaced my TV with this €200 projector, and why this might be the best budget home entertainment upgrade you can get right now. Disclaimer, this video is sponsored by Wanbo, but all opinions are 100% honest and based on real use. Let's kick things off with the unboxing. The Wanbo Vali one comes in a sleek minimalistic box with some product visuals printed on it. Once you open it up, you're immediately greeted by Wanbo's signature slogan, "Enjoy the Unlimited." Lifting that flap reveals the user manual and the projector itself, along with a secondary box containing the accessories. Inside this smaller box you'll find the power cable, a remote control, and a spare dust filter, which is a nice little extra you don't always get in this price range. Now that we've unpacked everything, let's take a closer look at the projector and talk about its build quality. The overall build quality of the Vali one is quite decent for its price. It doesn't feel cheap or flimsy. The finish is clean, and the design looks surprisingly modern and stylish. It also comes with a lens cover installed, which is quite practical. A standout feature here is definitely the gimbal stand. It feels pretty robust and offers smooth 200-degree rotation. This flexibility makes it super easy to angle the projector however you need, whether for wall, angled, or ceiling projections. On the back of the device, you'll find a compact but useful port selection. One HDMI port for external devices like laptops or consoles. One USB-A port for playing content directly from a USB stick. One headphone jack for plugging in external speakers or headphones. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the picture quality. With 900 ANSI lumens, the projector is impressively bright and can even be used in well-lit environments, like a room with the lights on or even outdoors as long as the sun has already set. For example, here you can see how it performs both in brighter conditions and in a dark room for comparison. The overall image quality is totally acceptable. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's definitely not bad either. The projector runs at 1080p, which is more than enough for the average user, and delivers a clear image at normal viewing distances. You may notice some ghosting or light bleed, especially in scenes with high contrast, like white text on a black background. That's pretty typical for projectors in this price range and happens because they can't produce true black. But during a regular video or movie playback, it's barely noticeable and doesn't take away from the experience. The color, sharpness, and other picture settings can all be tweaked in the menu. We'll take a look at that later. Overall, for the price you're paying, the picture quality is absolutely solid. One of the cooler features is the automatic focus and keystone correction. Every time you move or tilt the projector, the ASA 3.0 algorithm kicks in, and it recalibrates the screen so it stays sharp and level. It projects these little black dots on the wall, and then the camera on the front adjusts the focus based on what it sees. The whole process takes around 10 seconds, which is pretty fast. That said, if you change the distance to the wall without tilting the projector, it won't always recalibrate automatically. You'll either need to adjust the angle slightly or press the manual calibration button on the remote, which, to be fair, is still very intuitive. More on that later. One negative point is that the autofocus doesn't work as well on a dark or black wall, since the black squares won't be recognized quite as well, but using any beamer on a dark wall is not really recommendable anyways. Altogether, the autofocus is a very great and unique feature with some small bugs that could be fixed with some software updates. Now let's talk about the sound quality. This part honestly surprised me the most. The highs and mids are impressively clear, especially for such a compact device. They're more than enough for watching movies, YouTube videos, or even casual music sessions. Voices and sound effects come through much better than I expected for a projector at this price point. The bass is a bit on the lighter side, but honestly that's completely fine given the size and cost. At full volume, the projector gets quite loud. The built-in 12-watt full-range speakers, combined with a 500 cubic centimeter sound chamber, really do an unexpected good job overall. Now here we have some samples of how the projector sounds. For most users, the sound quality is absolutely good enough to enjoy movies or shows without needing external speakers. If you still want a bit more punch or a bigger soundstage, there's also a simple AUX port, so you can easily connect external speakers or a soundbar for an upgraded audio experience. And while we're on the topic of audio, the fan noise is impressively quiet. When nothing's playing, it sounds like an idle PC, around 28 decibels. But once you start watching something, it fades into the background and becomes pretty much unnoticeable. Now let's get to the software and the remote. The projector runs on Android TV, which is a big plus. It feels like using a regular smart TV. You've got access to apps like YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and more. The performance is surprisingly smooth and is totally comparable with the performance of the Google TV Stick. Another handy feature is the ability to store files directly on the device itself. You could, for example, upload a movie beforehand and watch it later without any network connection. The internal storage is limited, but it's usually enough to hold one full-length film. As I mentioned earlier, the projector also gives you access to several settings where you can fine-tune both the picture and the sound. When it comes to color, the default video mode already looks pretty decent out of the box, but there are also 2 additional presets available. And if you prefer to customize things further, you can manually adjust contrast, saturation, and more to match your personal preferences. The same goes for the sound. You can switch between different profiles like music, movie, and so on. To be honest, the differences between these modes aren't huge or always logical, but it's still a nice little bonus to have. What really shines though is the manual adjustability of both sharpness and keystone correction. You can just press these 2 buttons to manually sharpen or blur the image. So much more practical than having to twist a lens by hand. To get to the advanced keystone control via remote, you can simply hit this button right here. From there, you can either trigger the automatic calibration again or dive into manual mode. In manual mode, you can adjust all 4 corners of the image individually using the D-pad on the remote. And honestly, once you've had that level of control, it's hard to go back. I wouldn't want a projector without this feature ever again. There are also a few nice quality of life features built in. For example, you can set a sleep timer so the projector turns off automatically after a while, which is great if you tend to fall asleep while watching. Another cool feature is the ambient mode. It basically works like a screensaver, displaying relaxing visuals like underwater scenes or landscapes, similar to the Apple TV screensavers. It's a nice touch for setting the mood or just having something calming in the background. The remote control is a standard Android TV remote you would expect from a device in this price range. The connection is stable and didn't cause me any issues. On the back of the remote you find this small compartment for 2 AAA batteries. Another quite practical feature of the remote control and projector is the extra storage compartment for the remote in the foot of the beamer. As you can see, it lays in there relatively loose, but it's practical to store it there so you don't lose it. In a good way, it actually reminds me of the Fire TV remote. The layout is simple and intuitive, with a D-pad at the top and 4 quick access buttons for Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, and Disney+. Now we are going to talk a bit about the environment and smart features. With the ambient wall mode and the 200-degree rotatable gimbal stand, the vali one is super flexible and can easily adapt to just about any room setup, whether it's your living room, bedroom, or even a ceiling projection. That's actually one of the main reasons I switched from using a regular TV to this projector. I love how you can just move it around the house, plug it in, and start streaming instantly. It's honestly crazy how replacing a bulky TV with such a compact device made my setup feel way more open and cozy. One of my personal favorite setups is placing it on a nightstand and projecting onto the ceiling. It's not only super fun, but also surprisingly comfortable, especially when you're lying in bed. Compared to sitting upright and looking straight ahead at a wall-mounted TV, this setup is easier on the neck and honestly way more relaxing, especially when falling asleep to a show or movie. But what really makes the Vali one stand out is its portability. Since it's so compact and easy to set up, you can take it with you when traveling, use it at a cabin, or even set it up outside in the evening. Like watching movies by the campfire or streaming a football match in the garage with your friends. It adds a whole new level of versatility that a traditional TV just can't match. At around 200 euros, the Wanbo Vali one offers incredible value for money, and is honestly the best projector I've tested in this price range. It delivers a surprisingly well-rounded package with features like a rotatable gimbal stand, built-in Android TV, good sound quality, and a clean, modern design, all in a very compact and portable format. If you're looking for an affordable yet capable projector to upgrade your movie nights, binge shows in bed, take with you on trips, or even watch football in the garage with your friends, this could be exactly what you're looking for. Of course, it's not flawless, especially when it comes to darker scenes or ultra high-end picture quality, but for the price it's more than fair and delivers on everything it promises. For me personally, replacing my TV with the Wanbo Vali one has been a game changer, and if you've been on the fence about switching to a projector, this might just convince you. In the video description, we also have a link for you where you can get a $20 discount on the original $240 price. If you found this review helpful, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future content. We've also uploaded a more detailed version of this review as a blog post over on our website. And if you want to connect with us directly, share your own setup, or ask questions, feel free to join our Discord community. It's linked in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.